And before we hand you that, we're going to give you this. And we're going to equip this. And we're going to put that in the bag. Put that in the bag. We're going to leave the medical herbs alone. But before we leave, we can go talk to our mother for an extra scene. There is no point in doing this. Like, you don't get an item for doing this. You just get this little extra scene right here. That's it. Granted, that might be enough for some people, and it's enough for me to do it. Yes, he did. I like the idea that the silent protagonist is secretly like this cheeky little sarcastic shit. Alright, but if you leave the village, then you can't actually get the fish bits after that. So you have to grab them before you go out here. But this game, I think it runs on a modified version of the Dragon Quest IX engine. I'm not really sure. Maybe it runs on a modified version of the Dragon Quest VIII engine. But I don't think they built the engine from scratch, because I read somewhere, and I don't know how true this is, because I read it and I tried to find like corroborating accounts. But apparently the dev cycle for this game was really short. Like, less than, like, 5 months, 4 months, something like that. Like, they just worked themselves to death to get this game up. Oh, by the way, she Naruto runs on the world map. She doesn't do this in town. It's just the world map. Oster doesn't do it. None of the other characters run differently when you're on the world map. Just her. But, yeah. Alright, so we immediately want to leave. And if we go over here, there is an optional area in the world map over here. It's optional right now. You do have to come here for the story later. But it is much faster to get around on the world map here than it is in the Dragon Warrior 7. Just because you run so much faster. In addition to that, they give you more items because there's treasure chests on the world map. If you try to come here with Maribel, she actually she tells you that they've got you got places to be. Don't come here. Yes. Oh, really? Yeah, so the woodcutter there becomes important later in the story. A little bit, kinda, sorta. Maybe. We'll see. Trying to be vague. Is it working? 3 gold coins. Set of rags. That's top tier armor, you know. And there's pots. And I don't think there's anything in his basement. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in his basement. Look at this. Glad I checked. The Seed of Magic. And a medical herb. Medical herbs are going to be very welcome at this point in the game because we don't have healing magic. Okay, so now we want to go back to Estard. Let's turn the map where I can actually see where I'm going. I'm having a hard time because a lot of the times I actually steer around using the bottom screen on the world maps, especially in the island here, because there's no random encounters. Huh. Yep, that's Oster. The roughest ruffian that ever roughed. No particularly interesting books. Alright, nothing else in that room. And now we're going to check the inn. Pike's not here yet. But Oster is Pike's nephew. So he's Pollock's brother. Respect your elders and stop questioning things. Yes, it's very odd that he's not here drinking at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Totally odd. And is there anything in here? Like, what kind of guests do you get? So, you play a lot of JRPGs, and I've talked about this before, and I'll probably talk about it again in like a future game or whatever. But they have to like scale things down, right? Like, you can't do like a one-to-one recreation of a world, you know, like the world map. That's not how big the world is. The world is probably a lot bigger. Estard is probably a lot bigger than it is here. But unfortunately, we can't check this well right here. Like, the presence of an inn seems to dictate that they get guests. You know, they have to get guests. Like, where do the guests come from? There's pretty much only the small fishing village and this city, and the small fishing village has 1, 2, 3, 4 houses, 5, a mansion, and a church. And this place has pot lids for sale. You can buy the pot lids if you want. I don't think it's necessary. If you do want to buy one, I would only buy one and save it from Maribel. But for everybody else, it's not really required. 2 defense is not going to be too big of a game changer. If you get the, if you don't know how the defense stuff works, I'll go over it in a minute. Let me finish my thought on the stuff. Like, how many people are actually on this island, you know? There's a lot of things that I wonder about, like, when they, because they have to, you know, do things at scale in JRPGs. You know, how big is the island? How many people are actually in the world? You know, because over the course of the game, you probably see less than 1,000 NPCs. You know, but that can't be the entire population of the world. There's maybe 30 NPCs between Estard and... Oh, look, a spider. Very 2D spider. But there's probably like 30 NPCs between both villages, you know? Is that the entire population of the island? Like, you know, because that's not enough to maintain a healthy, incredibly inbred population. Yeah, that's putting it lightly. But, you know, it is what it is. I just wonder about, like, things like that when I play games. hard to shut my brain off. I don't think there's anything in any of these. Oh, there is. Look at that. I'm wrong. I do know this chest is locked. And this one is as well. The door is back here. So, let's break these pots. The key to getting all the items in a Dragon Quest game is, first of all, like, if you can use an FAQ that at least lists where the mini medals are, so you don't miss any. Like you got to know where the mini medals are when you go into an area, because I've done that before, where you'll go through the game and I'll find 80% of the mini medals, but 80% is not enough to get the stuff. There is a margin of error usually in the Dragon Quest games, but it ain't 80%. It's like usually 5 or something over. And that's after you go to like the bonus dungeon and stuff. Is it now? Ferocious man-eating bears. Huh. Well, so, this window? Is she in the, bathroom or whatever? Mustn't disturb a lady. Huh. Everybody's got one of those family members. So, let's see. We've already done that. Check behind the house is. And we're going to continue to bust. Hi, kitty kitty. Alright. And this is the last room. Half a year's rent? I know it's hard to evict somebody. Boy, that was pointless. It actually is incredibly hard to evict somebody in real life. But it can be done. Oh, that was my neck and it popped like heck. Oh, that hurt. Well, before we go see the king, actually, I think I'm gonna go see the king first, then raid the castle of its riches. Yep. Actually, the answer is no to that, but he's gonna tell us anyway. So the reason that Prince Kiefer is so gung-ho about adventure and all that is he is the star of one of the spin-off games. So, Dragon Quest Monsters Caravan Heart. Yes, you are. So Dragon Quest Monsters 1 is called Terry's Wonderland, and it stars Terry from Dragon Quest 6. And then they had a sequel called Caravan Heart. And the main character was Kiefer. And we never got that. But it was released on I want to say the PlayStation. kind of wish we had gotten Terry's Wonderland. Yeah, Caravan Heart was released in 2003 for the Game Boy Advance, surprisingly. Okay. I really wish we had gotten Terry's Wonderland 3D. They released Terry's Wonderland recently on the Switch, didn't they? Anyway. I'm sorry, getting sidetracked here. We're going to go see the King first, and then we'll come around and talk to everybody. Yep. Thank you. We actually can't explore the entirety of the castle until we see this scene anyway. But I would have really loved to have seen Terry's Wonderland 3D. But I guess it's good enough that we got Dragon Quest VII. I really like the Dragon Quest Monsters games. I'm actually a really big fan of like the Mons games, you know, Pokemon, Dragon Quest Monsters. Although it's been a while since I played one of those. The last one I played was the first Joker game. And that's it. Apparently Dragon Quest Jokers 3 came out, and it was never released in the US. That's a shame. I guess they don't sell very well. But I don't know if you noticed this, but so... Yes, that's clear. You always tell the king what he wants to know. That is just good advice. First of all, a couple things going on in this scene here that I want to bring to attention. One, Kiefer's dad is named Donald, and that is a reference to Kiefer Sutherland and his father, Donald Sutherland. That is an amazing hat, and he is wearing a blanket. But apparently Kiefer took a ring. And it has made his father angry. I'm trying to be like really positive about this because I've already recorded this, and I was really happy with the recording, and then my sound settings and Return to Pilchard Bay. I have been dismissed. Yeah. The relationship between King Donald and Prince Kiefer is very interesting. Like, it's a man who loves his son and really wants to do the best, and then so he means this room over here is Kiefer's room. And I don't think there's actually anything we need to do right now in the castle. No, okay, I know where we gotta go next. Huh. I mean, it looks fairly clean. So they give you a lot of Chimera Wings because here shortly we're going to start doing a lot of back and forth. But I don't think it's required in this version of the game because that back and forth is actually significantly less in this version. Let's see, so we want to go see Lizette. glimmering out on the horizon. I wonder what he saw. Trying to think of what that could be like a foreshadowing to. This, by the way, looks like a button. It is not a button. This is a chair? Like a stool or something? I don't know. That's not a button.